Hey folks, I wanted to show you a few tricks that you can do inside my math lab when you are trying to get answers to problems for chapter 3 or any other chapter for that matter, but certainly for this upcoming test. If you're in my math lab and you're looking at a problem and it gives you some data and it asks you to do something with the data, like make a stem and leaf plot, I know that you could make the stem and leaf plot of this data, but I'd like to show you how to use the technology to get it done so that you can spend some time on other questions. Let's go ahead and take a look. For one thing, you'll notice that there's a little icon in the upper right corner or somewhere around the data. There should be a little icon or a button, and when I put my mouse over it, says click to copy the table. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that guy, and then it gives me several options. One of them is copy to clipboard, and if I did, sometimes I'll do this in order to paste into Google Sheets or into R or Python in REPL IT. But for now, I'm just going to click open in statcrunch. Now, you and I have looked at statcrunch together before. However, today we're going to look a little more closely. Oh, I just realized I have a little more space that I could squeeze out of my window here. There we go. That's a little better. This way I can zoom in a little bit for you. Okay, so let's see here. So now that we're in statcrunch, what we'll do is there's a whole bunch of tools here, and one of them is let's see, if we want to do stem and leaf plot, we can click on graph, and then you can see all these different kind of graphs. You're welcome to use this to make any of these graphs, and one of the options is stem and leaf, so I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and then you have to select the column of data that you're interested in. And again, this is the column that we were given from my math lab. And then we'll go ahead and we'll click compute, and it'll spit out the answer. Yay, so that's pretty quick and easy. I don't know if that's exactly the same as what we were looking at. Here's the 4s are at top, the 0s are at the bottom. It actually, you know, hey, I can only do so much for you. Here the stems are in opposite order, so you are going to have to do a little bit of interpretation. And the other thing is, what else? Here, oh, okay, so they did double up on the stems over here. So they split the stems, and that's how statcrunch gave us the results as well. So that's cool. If for some reason you were looking at a stem plot and it did not have split stems and you wanted to adjust that in statcrunch, there are some adjustments you can make, but I don't know how to just make it so that you unsplit. But if you go back and you go to edit, there's this option called leaf unit, and right now the default leaf unit, I guess, is 1, or the one that it chose was 1. But if you go and you choose a 0.1 or 10, you can get a different result, and sometimes that'll make it look more like what you're trying to produce. All right, I just wanted to give you a quick video on how you could use statcrunch in order to produce a stem and leaf graph. Let me show you. I'd like you guys to be able to practice this, so let me show you where to go to practice. So if you go to the online textbook in my math lab, you will notice that there is these buttons, SC, and that stands for statcrunch. And for problem 25, if I didn't want to make a stem and leaf plot by hand, I could go here and click this button, and it would bring up the data in statcrunch. And then I would have to read the question carefully to make sure, you know, what are they asking for. In this case, in question 25, they're asking by how many points does the winning team outscore the losers? Display these data in a stem and leaf plot. Let's see here. So they're looking for the winning margin, not the total points. So again, you do have to understand the context of the problem, but still we can use the technology. I'm going to click on this downward facing arrow to oh, you know what, I don't even need to do that, I'm sorry. We can just go to graph, stem and leaf, click on winning margin, and then compute, and voila, there we go. And again, you could go back in and mess around with the 0.1 and the 10 to see if they give you better results. And sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. Yeah, I don't see those as being better than just choosing the default of 1. So there you go. But there's your stem and leaf plot. Maybe that'll save you some time.